In today's video, we're actually going to take a look at some of those things that are maybe not as desirable in a community like Eagan, Minnesota. My name's Travis Anderson. Let's talk about it. You know, the first thing that comes to mind is actually the school district. I know, believe it or not, the school district is quite expensive here in Eagan. It's a very good school. It's one of the best districts in Minnesota. The reason it's so expensive is because of some of the building that's going on in some of the other communities, like Rosemont, which again is a really great thing that you're a part of this big school district that's building new schools and even building some sports facilities. All of that is awesome for the District 196, but if you live in Eagan specifically, your taxes are going to be a little bit higher to help pay for some of those schools. You know, we're sitting here talking about higher taxes. Let's go ahead and talk about higher home prices. That's the second thing that you're going to run into here in a community like Eagan. If you compare Eagan to places similar to Eagan like Inver Grove Heights, which is one of the bordering communities, you're going to find the prices are going to be a little bit higher. Now, if we go ahead and compare Eagan to places like Woodbury or Plymouth, which are also pretty good sized suburbs just outside of St. Paul, you're going to notice that Eagan is a little bit less than those. So depending on where you're looking in the metro, Eagan is going to be a little bit higher price, but it's going to be a little bit lower than some of those other suburbs that are either farther east or farther west. You know, just behind me, you're not going to be able to see it right now, but there's an airplane taking off from the major metropolitan area that's only a couple of miles from here. Now, overhead, it's extremely loud for me. I'm having a hard time hearing myself speak. So depending on where you are in Eagan, Minnesota, you're going to have a lot of jet noise. Now, again, it's not the entire city, but where I'm standing right now, which is pretty close to the airport, it's going to be pretty loud jet noise. You know, living in a place like Eagan, Minnesota, you're close to the cities, you're close to St. Paul or Minneapolis, and it's pretty easy commute to get to and from work. But what you run into sometimes is busy traffic. Now, right behind me is 35. You can see it's moving pretty smoothly. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning right now. But if I were standing in this same spot at 7:30 or 8 in the morning, this spot right here would be backed up for probably a mile. Now, one thing to think about when you're in a community like Eagan is it's just not that walkable. I'm right here next to kind of the major shopping areas. I've got Walmart to my right here. I've got some shopping over here to the left. I have a Caribou Coffee right over here. It would take me quite a while to get from one spot to the other. I mean, if you're comparing this to communities like Stillwater, for example, or Hopkins, you know, these communities have really nice downtowns and you can do a lot in just about a mile's distance. Here in Eagan, you're gonna have to walk a long ways to get to your favorite restaurant from just about anywhere. Now, when you think about communities like Eagan, Minnesota, you have to think about how we were built from the beginning. Now, here we have some older real estate stock. We're a second ring suburb. And so we were built sort of in the 1960s, 70s to sort of start the development here. And then there was a really big company that came in the late 1980s and early 1990s called West Publishing. And from there, it was another huge boom of building. Some of these homes behind me, you can't really see, but some of these homes behind me were built in that 1990 and early 2000 era. So one thing you're gonna run into in a community like Eagan is some older real estate stock. Along with older real estate stock, of course, comes less new construction. Now behind me is a newer development. But in Eagan, Minnesota, you're going to run into maybe a couple of small developments here and there. There's not going to be really large developments where you'll see hundreds of homes built at any moment in time, like you're going to find in bordering communities like Rosemont and even parts of Apple Valley right now, especially if you're heading out further west, more towards those larger communities like Maple Grove. You're going to see a lot of new construction out there. And then, of course, further south. As I stated, we are more of a second ring suburb. We're sort of building into the fourth ring suburbs in the Twin Cities right now. Hey, look, there are pluses and minuses to living in any community, obviously. And in this video, we went over some of those things that you might consider a negative living here in Eagan, Minnesota. I hope you liked this video. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about some of the bordering communities next week. My name's Travis Anderson, and as always, all my best to you and yours.